see why people might ask the question when a member of Congress who has control over public funds funnels money in a direction where a family member happens to be?
Sure, I can understand that, but we all look at every situation as we should. And the fact of the matter is, if you can stretch that, then I ought not be funding anything to the state of South Carolina. I have a daughter who is a public service commissioner in the state of South Carolina, so I should not be funding any money to the state of South Carolina because my daughter works for the state of South Carolina. Now, how far do we go with this?
You have three daughters.
Yes.
And a son-in-law.
Yes.
Who all work for entities where you have control
in
South Carolina of sending money.
I don't have any control over that.
Well, the earmarks you have some control
Sure.
over. Are anybody else, any other family members in groups that are recipients of earmarks?
Absolutely. I got cousins. I've got my cousin Bill Clyburn is a member of the state legislature. And I suspect that he votes on stuff that may benefit my children and his. I've got 3 or 4 cousins in the legislature. Where do we stop?
That's a good question. Where do you think the line should be drawn? You know you're an honest man. Not everybody may be. How do we determine, how do we make the rules that fit someone who might not be honest versus someone who is?
Well, the first thing that we ought to start with the premise is that everybody is honest and honorable. And we ought to approach people that way rather than the other way around. It seems as if in these instances we tend to approach everybody as being dishonest.
There is a disclosure in earmarks for obvious reasons that you have to say neither I nor my spouse has a financial interest.
Sure.
Would you support a broader disclosure where you would have to say whether a family member is part of an entity that receives an earmark?
Sure, I would. I have no problem with that.
In the corporate world, if an executive were to funnel shareholders' money to an entity where a family member worked, they would call that a conflict of interest.
I don't think so. I've operated in the corporate world. I sat on a bank board for 14 years, what's now Bank of America. And I do know that a lot of family members worked in entities.
But don't they have to disclose that? There's a disclosure
Absolutely.
provision.
And that's what I say. I have no problem with disclosure. Transparency, to me, is the best disinfectant for all of this that we do up here. I have always been a big believer in transparency. And every earmark I've ever requested, I've put my name on it.